The person you're afraid to become is not a stranger. They already exist, quietly, in the possibilities of who you could be. They are the version of yourself that demands more, risks more, creates more. They are stronger, sharper, bolder, and terrifying. Change is not about habits. It is not about routines, diets, or schedules. Habits can shape you superficially, but they do not define the core of who you are. Real change is about the person you choose to be, the identity you step into. Becoming someone else is not a matter of discipline, it is a matter of transformation. And transformation is frightening, because the person you're afraid to become is not safe. They will demand sacrifices. They will force you to let go of the familiar, the comforting, the crowd that once carried you. They will push you into situations where your old self fails, where your weaknesses are exposed, and where survival is uncertain. We cling to our current identity because it is easy, because it is predictable, because it hides us from failure and judgment. But the cost of hiding is far greater than the discomfort of change. Every moment you refuse to grow, every time you cling to the person you already are, you allow fear to dictate your life. You allow potential to slip past you, unnoticed, unclaimed. Here is something most people never realize. When you hesitate, it's rarely hesitation about the task itself. The truth is, your mind is afraid of the person you will become if you act. That voice whispering, "Not yet," is not protecting you from the challenge. It's protecting you from transformation. It's your brain's way of keeping you safe from yourself, from stepping into a version of you that is unfamiliar, demanding, and uncompromising. Hesitation is the barrier between your current self and the self you are meant to become. Transformation requires abandoning more than habits. It requires abandoning the people you were. Not the people around you, but the identity that has defined your thoughts, your emotions, your choices. Your past self cannot carry you into the life you want. They cannot endure the trials, the risks, the demands of the next stage. The person you must become is heavier, sharper, more capable, and yet somehow freer. And here is the terrifying truth. The person you're afraid to become will make enemies of your former self. Your old habits will resist. Your old friends, or the comfort of your old environment, may pull at you, questioning, doubting, or ridiculing. You will feel the weight of your transformation in isolation because growth is always lonely before it becomes visible. But the reward is everything. To step fully into this new self is to gain a world your old self could never reach. Opportunities appear. Strength, resilience, and clarity emerge. Decisions that once terrified you become manageable. You carry the presence of someone who can act, who can create, who can leave a mark on life. Change is not a gentle evolution. It is a storm. It is a shedding of skins, a dismantling of comfort, a confrontation with fear. And yet, to resist is to remain trapped in the version of yourself that can never rise. The person you're afraid to become is waiting, not outside, but inside. They are the sum of trials you haven't taken, risks you haven't dared, skills you haven't built. They are the answer to every "what if" you've ignored, every dream you've abandoned. Becoming them will hurt. It will isolate you. It will challenge everything you thought was safe. And that is exactly why it is necessary. Your old self cannot create what the new self is capable of. Your old identity cannot endure the weight of the life you are meant to lead. So look at the person you fear. Study them. Imagine them clearly. They are not evil. They are not reckless. They are simply the version of you that refuses to settle, that refuses to be ordinary, that refuses to give excuses when the world demands presence and action. And then ask yourself, are you willing to step into that storm? To become someone who terrifies your old self because they are stronger, smarter, braver? To embrace the discomfort, the loneliness, the uncertainty? To finally live a life that matches your potential, rather than your fear? The person you're afraid to become is waiting. They are not a monster. They are your only chance at life fully lived. And the sooner you become them, the sooner you will understand that fear was never a stop sign, but a compass pointing directly toward who you were always meant to be.